Hey kids, today we're going to be talking about stem and leaf plots. Um, Stem and leaf plots are a way of displaying data where you get to see the actual data points. Up until now, we've been working with like pie charts or we've been doing like histograms where it gives you a good visual display of the data, but you don't see the actual individual data points. So we're going to be talking about the Patriots and how the Patriots did this past season, as far as the number of points they scored versus the number of points that their opponents scored. So let's look at the data. I've written down the data here for all the 16 regular season games and that unfortunate playoff loss. And let's make a stem and leaf plot. So what you first need is a stem and a leaf. And your stem is going to include the tens digits, and your leaf is going to include the ones digits. And I'm going to first come up with one that's unorganized. It'll be easier if I do this transition step to do an unorganized one and then create the final result. So for stem, you could have a 0 for your first digit, or a 1, or a 2, or a 3, or a 4, and you could keep going on, but they didn't score over 50 points this season, so we can stop at the 4. And then I want to go through and just kind of check them off. So 33, so 3 is the tangent, so I'm just going to put a 3 as the leaf. So that value right there stands for that 33. Done with that one. They scored 43. They scored 30, so you put a 3 and a 0. 16, a 1 and a 6, a 33, so I'm going to put a 3 there, a 35, another 33, a 27, a 20, 17, 1 7, a 13, a 22, another 16, a 34, a 24, another 24, and unfortunately that 13 at the end there. So that's my unorganized stem and leaf. So I'm going to create another stem. This is hard to write on. I'm using a stylus and it's just not working well. So I apologize for that. Um, so I have my 0, my 1, my 2, my 3, and my 4. And now when I organize it, I want to put it in ascending order. So there's nothing in this zeros row. But for this one, I have a 3, a 3, a 3, a 6, a 6, and a 7. And then for the twos, I have a 0, again, in ascending order, 2, a 4, a 4, and a 7. For the threes, I have a 0, a 3, a 3, another 3, another 4, and a 5, and then 4, 3. So right there, that's my stem and leaf plot. It's kind of like a sideways histogram as well. So you can kind of get a feel just looking at it, what's happening with the data here and where things are falling. Notice there's nothing in the zeros, so you can really quickly see from the stem and leaf plot what the smallest value is. So again, this is the tens digit, and these are and you don't put commas or anything like that. You just notice that each of these only counts as one data point. So one of your data points is 13, 13, 16, 16, and 17. So it's a nice quick way of kind of laying things out, and you can find certain types of data pretty quickly. The mean, unfortunately, this does not help you find the mean any quicker than just adding up all 17, doing your calculator, divide by 17. It comes out to be 25.5 approximately was the mean. But the median is actually pretty clever. It's pretty quick to actually see what the middle number is. So you're just going to basically you're going to go up and down at the same time. So I cross off these guys, all right? Then I cross off the next two. I cross off the next two, and the next two, and the next two. Again, this is kind of a tedious way of doing it. You could just count to see which one the middle one is. But if you do it this way, you'll also get to the correct median because that's the middle number. So I'm going in both directions. So 24 is my median for this data. My mode is just the one that comes up the most. So just looking really quickly at it, you can see that 33 comes up 3 times, right? So 33, Larry Bird. That comes up the most. That is your mode. And your range is just the difference between your largest number. So the largest number is 43. That's your max, right? And then you subtract the smallest number, which is just 13. So your range comes out to be 30. All right, so that's the stats for the Pats. The stats for the Pats. All right, now let's look at the opponents and let's see what their results look like. So I'm not even going to write stem and leaf. I'm just going to start writing it down like the values. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and we can write 4, but it looks like there's no 40s up there. All right, so for the first one, 3. So that's 03. 0. Ooh. So put 0, 0. 14. That's a 1, 4, 10, 07, 1, 4. There's another 0, 0, a 1, 3, a 37, a 10, so that's 1, 0, 09, 28, 23, 13, 17, 27, and 22, 0. And so that's my unorganized stem and leaf plot. And now to organize it, I'm going to put my 0, my 1, my 2, my 3, and my 4 right there. For these guys, I have a 0, 0, 3, 7, and 9. Put them in ascending order. This one I'd have a 0, a 0, a 3, a 3, a 4, a 4, and a 7. Here I have a 2, 0, 2, 3, 2, 7, and 2, 8, and a 3, 7. So there is my stem and leaf plot, and I can quickly just look at this. And again, it's like a histogram, so you can see where the numbers kind of fall really quickly here versus the numbers over here. Clearly, the Patriots were doing a lot better than their opponents all season. And now let's look at some of the data again. Again, to find the mean, the average, you have to add up all the numbers and divide by 17. And in this case, that turned out to be 14.4. So Patriots on average scored, it looks like 11.3 points higher than their opponents per game. The median is the middle number. Now, another way of doing it versus doing the whole crossout method is because there's 17 values here, all right? Your ninth value would have 8 below and 8 above. So the ninth one is going to be the one to look out for. So you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 13 ends up being your median. Your mode is the most common one. It looks like there's 2 modes. One of them is just actually this mode. There's lots of modes. Geez, you got 0 as one of your modes, 10 as another mode, 13 as another mode, and 14. So you have 4 modes: 0, 10, 13, and 14. And your range is just a maximum, all right, which is your max is 37. The minimum is just 0. It's really easy to see your max and your mins when they're like this. And 37 minus 0 is your range. But in the end, you can see that the Patriots really did a great job most of the season up until the end. They clearly fizzled at the end, but hey, you can't win every year. All right, let us look now at the website and just go over some other problems there. These ones are already written out for you. Well, the answers are, but you can see how, like, again, here's your data set. So to plug these values in, you would do exactly what we just did, and then you create your stem and leaf plot over here. And let's see if there's, so if you see something like this, again, there's nothing in the 2 section, there's nothing written down here, so that means there's just nothing in the 20s. All right, your max would be 61. Your min in this case would be 10, right? Here's another one. Again, your minimum is 04, so just 4, and your maximum is 57. One of the questions was how many people are older than 32. So here's 32. So to be older, you got to start at 33. So you just start counting these. So you have 4 here, and then you have another 5 there, and another 2 there. So you got 11 of those. All right. So hopefully you get the idea of how these things work out. again, it's just a nice way of seeing how the data lays out. Again, like a sideways histogram, you get all the data points you want. It's pretty awesome stuff. So hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.